Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. It's the brother Azariah here with the Pittsburgh GMS camp. I'm going to start off with this first scripture. Job 7:17. What is a man that thou shouldest magnify him, and that thou shouldest set thine heart upon him, and that thou shouldest visit him every morning and try him at every moment. All right. And the title of this lesson is going to be 14 karat or fool's gold, testing our metal. All right. And as you see right here, this is Job speaking, and he's asking, what is a man that thou shouldest magnify him, or that thou shouldest set thine heart upon him, and that thou shouldest visit him every morning and try him every moment, and the Lord does try us, and I just have a few precepts lined up. I'm just going to go ahead and get straight to them. So I'm going to pull out this next one. Okay. It's going to be the book of Psalms, chapter 11. I'm going to go to verse 4. All right. Psalms 11 and verse 4. The Most High is in his holy temple. Yahweh's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids try the children of men. Okay. And so I want to get the definition of this word try. Okay. Because the Lord tests us, All right. The Lord puts us through stuff to try us. Okay. And so this is going to be Bachan. Okay. Bachan. Okay. Make sure. Yeah, that's a cha right there. And that's the N when it's on the end of a letter of a word. It says to examine, to try, to prove, to examine or to scrutinize, to test, to prove, to try, of gold, or the persons, or of the heart which goes into your mind, and of the man of the Most High, to be tried, proved, to make a trial. Okay, so the Most High puts us through things to try us. Okay, all right. So let's see here, and he likens it as unto the proving of gold. Let me look here. Went to metaphor. Let him prove me. I shall go forth as gold. Okay. So I'm gonna move to this next precept, and then we're gonna get this article. Okay. Not really an article, just more of a web page going into this lesson. All right. So let's move forward. Proverbs 17:3. Okay. Proverbs 17 and verse 3. The fining pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold, but Yahweh trieth the hearts. Okay? So the Most High tries our hearts. He tries our minds. Okay? He puts us through things to see, who we are. Let's get this word hearts. And it's laba, heart. Okay? Which really we know heart goes into the mind. Okay? We know that heart goes into your mind, to your inner man. Okay. So anyway, let's get this article right. Because the title is Fool's Gold. The title is Gold 14 karat or Fool's Gold. Okay. And there's different ways that you test metals. Okay. So I was just looking into this. Okay. So we're gonna read some of this on the top. Metal testing is a process or procedure used to check the composition of an unknown metallic substance. There are destructive processes and non-destructive processes. Metal testing can include blah, blah, so on and so forth. So anyway, metal is tested. There's different ways that you can test metal. Now there's destructive testing, okay, but then there's non-destructive testing. Okay, so I want to get this precept. Okay. Let me make sure there's nothing else on here. Yeah, okay, we'll go into that in a second. So 1 Corinthians 10:13. And Lord willing, this is edifying. Just bear with me. Baba Kashai. 1 Corinthians 10. And then we're going to get 13. All right. 1 Corinthians 10. All right, go down to verse 13. It says, there have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. So, I brought that out because in here it talks about the destructive testing and the non-destructive testing. Now, if you are of the elect, the testing will to you be non-destructive. Now, there will be people who come into the truth and they will be tested, like the scriptures talk about, the seed that was sown on, that had no depthness of root, and it sprung up suddenly, and then the sun scorched it, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, that goes into, let me just get it. Okay. I didn't plan on bringing this one out. But, the spirit wants me to, I'm going to go ahead and bring it out. Like, yeah. Mark 4 and 16. And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word immediately receive it with gladness, and have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. Afterward, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. Okay. And so those are the people who came in, and they got to begin to get tested and they fell out, and that's a very horrible fate. Okay. It's better for them to have not known the truth of the gospel, okay, than to have come into the truth and then fall out, man. That's a horrible judgment that's come upon that person. The scriptures say, that servant which knew his master's will and did it not shall be beaten with many stripes. Okay. So, but yeah, going back into it. Okay. If you are of the part of the elect, then the testing will not be destructive unto you, but it will rather be non-destructive. Okay. So let's continue on. So let's get some of these words here. Okay. Just to prove that this is going into a trial, a test of your faith to see how, to test your endurance. Okay. So let's get some of these words. Once again, back to 1 Corinthians, Salakia 10 and 13. There have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. So let's get this word temptation, right? G3986. Let's hit play on it.
Strong's G 3986. Pyrasmas.
Okay. And it says an experiment, an attempt, a trial, or a proving. The trial made of you by my bodily condition. That's going into something else. The trial of a man's fidelity, integrity, virtue, and constancy. Okay. All right. And so down here, they kind of got their Strong's, their Thayer's Greek lexicon, and it kind of shows you like which one is intended in which area. Okay. So when you go to Corinthians, Salakia, so 1 Corinthians 10 and 13 is found here. And that's the one we just read. And it says specifically the trial of a man's fidelity, integrity, virtue, or constancy. Okay. Also an enticement to sin or temptation, whether arising, blah, blah, blah. So basically it's just a test. The Lord puts us through certain things to see how we're going to react. We have to endure unto the end. The scriptures even say that he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. Why? Because the scriptures also tell us we shall through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of heaven. Okay. This is what we have to know. We have to pick up our cross, and the scriptures also tell us no servant is greater than his master. So if Yahushua went through these things, we have to go through these things as well. Right. And so we're going to be tested to see if we have what it takes to make it to the end. Ultimately, the Lord already knows the story, but it's a part of how he wants it to play out. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13 again. There have no temptation taken you, but such is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that which ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it. So for the elect, it's not going to be a destructive testing. It's going to be a testing to make them better. Okay, to prove that they, which none, the only people that are worthy are them who the Lord allowed to be worthy through his election from the foundation of the planet Earth. But it's, so to speak, like a proving ground, this life and these tests that the Lord puts on the people, on the elect. It's like a quote unquote proving ground. Okay, and so let's see, I think both of these are the same. Tempted. Okay, I want to get the word tempted, which they really are. Seems to be pronounced the same. Let's hit play on this.
Strong's G 3985. Pyrazzo. Pyrazzo.
Pyrazzo. And let me see, what was that first one? Okay, yeah. So it's like very similar.
Strong's G 3986. Pyrasmas.
Okay.
Pyrasmas.
Pyrasmas and then pyrazzo. Pyrazzo. So that's the one we're dealing with, pyrazzo, which is G3985. Okay, Salakia. So it's to try whether a thing can be done, to attempt, to endeavor, to try to make trial of, to test, for the purpose of ascertaining his quality or what he thinks or how he will behave himself. Okay, and this is also, I believe, contained down here. It says 1 Corinthians. I know it's in this area somewhere. Make a test of. Okay, once. Oh yeah, no, that's 1 Corinthians 2. So to inflict evils upon one in order to prove his character and the steadfastness of his faith. And it says that 1 Corinthians 10 and 13 is meant in this aspect of the definition. So, as you read it here, to inflict evils upon one in order to prove his character and the steadfastness of his faith. You see? And what did Paul say? He said, "Beloved, thinking not strange for the fiery trial, which is to try you," right? As if some strange thing has happened unto you. So don't think it's strange for these evils that seem to be coming upon you in order to test your faith, in order to test you and see if you're going to be in this thing. He literally says to inflict evils upon one in order to prove his character and the steadfastness of his faith. Okay. But what did we just read? Let's read it again now. Now that we've defined some of these words. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There hath no temptation or test or trial taken you, but such as coming to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be having these evils put upon you above that ye are able, but will with the trial also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. You see? So the Most High is not going to perform a destructive test on you. When you look at the test, it says in this kind of testing, the material undergoes a mechanical testing and is discarded thereafter. Test results are compared with specification, blah, blah, blah. So basically in the destructive testing, like it says, the original sample would be destroyed in the process. You see, this type of testing is destructive, but the Most High, for them that he have purposed to save, okay, they will not have a destructive testing that will destroy them, but rather it will build them up and it will prove that they are that worthy gold, so to speak. So let's get some more of these things here in this other, let's see, do I want to get another precept before I go into that? Okay. Let me see what I got here. 1 Corinthians 3. And then we'll see whether or not I want to move to the next precept or read some of that there first. Okay. All right, so yeah, let's read a little bit of this and we'll move on. And I believe I'll be wrapping up here soon. What makes a metal strong? So this is another thingy here. All right, the strength of metal depends on 4 properties. The tensile strength, how well a metal resists being pulled apart. You see? So this is like, how we test the worthiness of the elect, how the Most High tests the worthiness of the elect. Compressive strength, how well a material resists being squashed together. Because sometimes you feel like you're between a rock and a hard place, right? But the Lord want to see how well you're going to take it. Like Job, man. Job was being pressed in on all sides. He had everything taken away from him. His flesh got touched. His wife was talking shit. His friends came around and they didn't understand what he was going through, and they seemed to be talking shit. You know what I mean? So he had it. He was going through it, man. Okay. Yield strength. How well a rod or beam of a particular metal resists bending and permanent damage. So are you going to go through these things? Are you going to fall off the horse and not get back up? The scriptures say a just man falleth 7 times, but he get back up again, right? So are you going to fall off the horse and stay on the ground? Are you going to have permanent damage done to your psyche or to your spirit to where you can't continue on to the end? Verse 4, impact strength, the ability to resist shattering upon impact with another object or surface. Sometimes stuff is going to hit you like a ton of bricks and you ain't going to know what the hell going on. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta endure. You gotta endure. That's the only way that we gonna make it is if we keep rolling with the punches and keep pushing. You see? Yeah, well, there's no other option. All right, 1 Corinthians 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 15. If any man's works, let's see here. Every man's work shall be manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire. And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. So we got to have the proper foundation, you know what I'm saying, in order to endure through this test that's coming, you know, because there's tests that are coming. It's going to get gradually worse, okay? And the Lord, you know, it's going to be shown whether or not what we believed and the foundation we had was a right one, because the fire is going to prove it whether it can stand or not. There are people right now out there pushing out these different foundations. Building these walls with untempered mortar, you see, you know, telling people there's not going to be any persecution, lying about what the mark of the beast is, lying about other different things. Okay, those foundations are going to be revealed through the fire that's coming. If any man's work abide, which he have built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. So those who was preaching the proper doctrine, okay, the scriptures say, they that let me see, I think it's Daniel, let me see, is it 12? Okay, Daniel 12:3, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. You see, so there's going to be a reward for them that turn many to righteousness. But there are going to be a lot of people who didn't turn people to righteousness, who turned them to fables and lies, you know, whether they were deceived or not. Okay. And the same must know it by death by pain. Ultimately, all of Israel going to be saved, but 2/3 ain't going to be saved until they die a fiery death. 1 Corinthians 3:15, if any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved. Yet so as by fire. You're going to die. You know, you're not gonna get a pass for teaching bullshit. The Lord's gonna destroy you. You know. All right, so let's just move on. I think I got one more precept. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I have 2 actually. James 1. Okay. So I think I made the point with that article. James 1. Okay, I'm going to get started verse 1. James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahushua Hamashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. Okay, and we already kind of went into temptations. It's parasmos, and you know what that is, the trials that you go through, right? Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Okay, so I want to get that word patience. Okay, now that word patience is steadfastness, constancy, endurance. Verse definition A, in the New Testament, the characteristic of a man who is not swerved from his deliberate purpose and his loyalty to faith and piety by even the greatest trials and suffering. You see that? So this is what's being worked through these temptations, that these trials that we go in through. Our constancy, our endurance is being tested and it's being strengthened. Okay, when you trying to enhance your endurance, it's through gradually increasing the load of what you're doing. You know, I'm not some health buff or anything like that, but correct me if I'm wrong. When you're trying to build up how far you can run, you do it gradually. You do this and you get that down until you can do that without much of a problem. Then you move up to the next amount of, so for example, running. You run for this far until every however so often until you get used to that, and then you increase the distance. Then you increase it a little more. So that's how the Most High is doing it for us, to make our endurance better in this truth, So that's why we go through stuff. Okay. James 1:3, knowing this, that the trying of your patience, the faith worketh patience, but let patience have her perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Okay. And so that word entire, what did I just get? Lucky. Reload. Reopen. So this is that word endurance. I didn't hit play on it. Let me do that.
Strong's G 5281. Hupomene.
Hupomene. So this was that word patience, which, like I said, I just read it. Okay. And then let's get this word. I forget which word this was. Entire.
Strong's G 3648. Halakleras.
Halakleras. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff there. Complete in all its parts, and in no part wanting or unsound or unhealthy. Complete, entire, whole. Okay. Complete in all respects, consummate. Yeah. So just it's making us more of a perfect man, and more able to bear the things that are coming. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and the strength of salvation. And with this wisdom and knowledge comes a test, man. To whom much is given, much is required, and also an increasing in knowledge is an increasing in sorrow. But either way, just moving on to the next one. So this is the last one I got lined up. Revelation. Okay, this is gonna be chapter 3 in verse 10. Okay. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Let me get this in Revelation. Revelation 3, Salakia. Dang it. Go up here. Revelation 3. All right. There we go. And then go down to verse 10. So that word patience is what I just read. Hypomene. Okay. Patiently. A patient enduring, sustaining, a perseverance. But it's got like all this stuff down here again. To kind of say where each one fits. Forget. Okay. Revelation 3 and 10. 3 and 10 is supposedly a patient, steadfast waiting for. Okay. Waiting for Yahweh's return, because that's part of this endurance test, is waiting for Yahweh to come back and save us from this place, man. Do you know how wicked it is here, man? Do you know how easy it is to slip and go off if you're not paying attention, or if you're not ruling the spirit, this is not our rest, but it's very easy here to get into some shit, man, and be all the way messed up. Okay. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I had on that. I had a few precepts I was reading and going through, and so on and so forth. So Lord willing, this was edifying. We're tested and we go through these different things, but it's to make us better so that we can endure from what's to come, because it's about to get better. It's about to get worse way before it gets better. Okay, we got a lot to endure, and we shall through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of heaven. But okay, if we be of the elect, if whether we have to die or whether we be caught up into the chariots without tasting death on this side, it's well worth the race that has to be run. Okay. Let me see here. I think there's one. Nope, that ain't what I want. I want this one. No. First Corinthians 9 and 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. So this is all about endurance and making it into the end. Okay. So I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. These blessings and salutations to the hopefully elect. All right. And with that, I want to say Shalom.